there's a concept that's bubbling up called the super app. This idea is that an organization like the one that we've been discussing, where you've got multiple different ways to experience the brand, needs to be somehow monolithically organized so that that brand doesn't turn into what we all can imagine is like this, entropy of disaster, right? This like ongoing change of iterations. What we want is to bring the customer back into the conversation and say, the customer doesn't care that you have complexity within your organization. They experience you through their phone or their desktop or their storefront, and they expect that experience to be consistent. So, how are we helping those organizations move towards the super app promise, even if that is still a promise and maybe not a reality yet? How are we getting closer to that?
Yeah, well, the super app kind of idea is interesting because, everyone's trying to do more with less and consolidate, and there's, acquisitions all over the place as always. For some teams, it's a technological undertaking first and foremost, but to kind of your point, it's really a user experience concept as much as anything, right? And often there's ideas of like brand consolidation or multi-brand experiences rolled in because some big company bought another big company, right? And we want to, spend a lot less time and effort creating similar experiences across web and mobile and watch and refrigerator and in-store kiosk and all the other stuff we touch these days. But we also have this big moving ship, right? And so I think what we're again going back to the idea of that central source of truth, right? In order to do something like that, to achieve that change or digital transformation as a business, as a product org, as a bunch of humans, you need a lot of tools, right? And there's so many opportunities for that to fall apart because teams don't have that visibility and clarity we talked about of like being able to see what each other are working with, right? So if you want to accelerate the actual delivery of an initiative, right, you need platforms and tools that you don't have to go and build yourself or suffer consequences of kind of, disintegration. We've got, we want to also know that there's things that will allow us to do this with less risk, right? We're starting to see a point where there's a little bit of a model of teams that have done this stuff really well at scale. A lot of them at great expense and custom tools and all that. But we start to see we can learn from that, and we don't have to just hope we get it right, right? So there's ways we can start to mitigate the risk in those initiatives. But then really that, bringing cross-functional teams together. Like if you want to do a lot at any scale, no matter what your resources are, no matter how much you just slashed your workforce, like you got to coordinate effort and that clarity and visibility by removing the disconnects between tools goes a really, really long way, right? You'd be amazed at how far you can go, how fast, no matter what the initiative is, if everyone knows what each other are talking about.